Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Broyans Farm.
So today is hanging basket day. Dad was just in here, but he had to go. We're getting new doors put in at our market. But he filled a bunch of hanging baskets for Mom. He filled those ones there, a couple over there, and then all these right here. Then Mom's job is going on behind and putting in any combinations or just single varieties in each hanging basket, whatever she chooses. Right here, she's got some sun patience. She's got not lobelia, fuchsias. Probably gonna do lobelia here somewhere, but anyway, you get the point. A lot of different kinds and colors.
And as for myself, I am not really seeding. I kind of am seeding today, but what I'm working on is doing onions for retail sales. And what that is it's not using the seeder in the 512 seed trays. It's basically filling the actual flats by hand, and I'm sprinkling the seeds in by hand and then covering them up instead of putting them in a seed tray, then transplanting them. It's all done at one time, and that's how they'll get sold. And you'll see that here in a little bit. Now I'm gonna see what Mom and Dad wanna do. Daisy wants to come in. I'm gonna see what Mom and Dad wants to do. But what we usually do for onions is we plant them in what's called a 1201, which I'm gonna pull out here in a second. So this right here is a 1201. We're gonna fill it with dirt, or I'm gonna fill it with dirt. And then I'm gonna sprinkle, who knows, between like 20 and 35 seeds in each one of these. So then the customer will then break each onion apart and plant that separately. They won't plant the whole cluster, or the onions will just never grow to a good size. But what I'm thinking is maybe putting them in something like this. Now these are a little bit smaller, but some people, actually quite a few people, have said when we're at market that they don't really want, 20, 30 onions. They only want 4 or 5. You never know. So I could put them in something like this, put 4, 5, 6 onions in something like that, and then they could buy it for, I don't know, for maybe $1, $2 for that single one, instead of paying more money for this large thing and then getting maybe more onions than what they want. They could buy 2 or 3 of these, or just buy one, or this way they have to just buy one and get a lot. So leave a comment down below, let me know what you think. But if it was me, that's what I'm gonna go with, but I'm pretty sure Mom and Dad are still gonna want me to go with the old way. So right now Mom's working on petunia hangers. She's doing 3 in a basket. And if you notice, she doesn't just plant them in a line, they kind of go in like a triangular motion. That way, when they grow, they fill out the whole pot evenly. I'll check and see if it's warm. No, it's cold, pretty good.
I made some new improvements over in my seating area. First off, I put a nice gray sheet up here, so when I'm here for the next couple hours and the sun's beating in, I have some shade. Second improvement, mini fridge. Not only is it great for any kind of drinks, but seeds shouldn't be left out in the greenhouse. So if I don't take them home, I can slip them in there. And I guess that's about it. Oh, third is, so we have 3 different types of trays for seeding. We have a tiny hole, a mid-size hole, and a large, which I almost never use this one. Basically only these 2. But anyway, for the past couple years growing onions, we've just felt like the 512s, which is what we grow them in all the way up until planting, were just a little bit small. They dry out quick. Then if they get too dry, they die, or you know, they just seem to like get stunted. They don't grow correctly after that. So Dad had the idea, well, let's plant them in the same size tray, but with less seeds and bigger holes. So that's when we got this. Here is the 512s, which you've seen a million times, but here is what is called a 392. I think, hold on a minute, let me make sure. Yeah, 392 100 count. Well, that's just 100 trays. So it's 392 instead of 512. Made by the same company, I think, Landmark. And so yeah, just nice having a brand new tray. Very nice, thick and heavy. And it is probably not twice the size, obviously, because there's not half the holes, but quite a bit bigger. So we'll see if we like this. But we did just have to call Easy Seeder, which is the seeder that we use, and get a whole new tray with that size and designed holes, so that way we can, you know, seed our onions, which is the only thing we're really going to plant into that size tray. So we'll see how that goes. So 3 different things that I think are going to make it a lot better. And if I really want to make it luxury over here, I might even put a little fan on that board right here, and you know, just keep some air circulating, because there's a fan in the seed room and there's obviously fans over here. But if I don't have these louvers open and when it gets hot, I really don't have any airflow. So now that I got Mom filled with dirt, I got my trays filled, we can finally start doing onions. And basically how we do this is pretty simple. So I'm basically just gonna take this tray and I'll flop on this board a couple times. Something about like that. Now you can see how the soil is kind of recessed down in there a little bit, which makes a nice little spot for my seeds. So I'll grab my seeds. So here's all my onions. I got lots of different packages. We basically plant the same thing for retail as we plant for the farm here in the fields. And so that means there's going to be a white onion, a yellow onion, and a red onion. So we'll start out with the white first. And I'm basically just going to put enough seeds in here to make it look good. Really no exact amount or anything like that. So I don't know, there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's probably about 25, like I said. Put a couple more in there. 30 onions now. Whoops. And so I don't really know how expensive onion seeds are, but I do think, well, that was a lot, that the customer will be happy. So here's an up close. There is vermiculite in there, which kind of looks like the same thing as the seeds, but there's around, I would say, 25 to 40 seeds in each one of these, which will look nice and good, especially when they grow and they get fuller. 4 great whites done. Starting to work on candy now. Usually we write out tags for these, but I'm just going to slap them on the side here, only because when we take them into the seed room and we cover them with these plastic sheets overnight, those tags get stuck and then, you know, it doesn't want to drape down over it nice. So I'm just going to slap them on the side, and at least then they'll be marked in some way, shape, or form. Now I'm working on chives, which is, the technical name for it is Stario. I'm going to do 3 or 4 flats of these. Then I'm going to cover them all with the vermiculite and then they'll finally be done.
Onions, and I'm not sure about chives, are something that can take the cold and go in early because they take a while to grow. And so we're only gonna do one planting of this stuff. Chives we might do 2, but onions for sure only 1. And that's kind of for 2 reasons. One, like I said, they go in early, and the second one is we need the rest of our seeds that we have left for the field, because if we plant too many for retail, well then we're just not gonna have enough on the farm. So we gotta watch with how much we plant. We really should have got a couple more, but I guess I wasn't really thinking about that when we were ordering. Now that all my onions are done, well, seeded, I'm gonna bring them in here, and I'll get the vermiculite put on top of them. It's a lot of dirt, and I gotta cover them pretty heavy, so I go through a lot of vermiculite. I need some more yet. Like I said before, the vermiculite just acts as a cover, so that way it's not exposed to the sun. Also holds that moisture in there better, kind of like a sponge. Somebody left a comment down below one of my other videos and said, well, how does the water pass through if it's like a sponge? Well, it gets through. It's not that bad, but it just helps hold that water in there a little more.
So I tried one of these.
For onions.
Yeah. I thought somebody might not want, 30, 40 onions.
Yeah. Yep, good idea.
So that's about it for today. I'm gonna come down here and see how Mom's making out.
You still got a long way to go.
Yes, I do.
So Mom got 65 done today.
It just takes her a while because I guess she said when she doesn't have the same combos and plants that she had the previous year, she doesn't know exactly what looks good in the basket. So then she's got to refigure out what's going to look good together when she's doing a combo of 3 or 4 different plants. Update on the graceful grasses. They're still not looking too good. Me and Mom were just saying they actually look like they're getting even worse. So we'll see what happens. And this is what they looked like since they came in. So we don't know, like I said, if they got too cold in the box going through shipping or what that is, but we're hoping they come out of it.
But that's the only thing that looks bad. Everything else looks great. So because I'm basically done for the day, I guess I'll show you what the high tunnel is looking like with the rye. Snow is not great with Crocs. Wow, this looks awesome. Probably shouldn't even walk in here just in case there's diseases walking in and out of the greenhouse. So, I don't know, probably a couple weeks ago when I was in here, it was about the same, but yet it just obviously wasn't as high. It's growing more and more every day. Like I said before, that side obviously lays wetter. That's why it's so thick and lush. Down there, there's like no bare spots. Over here, there's bare spots, but that's not where our row's going to be. Our row's going to be right where you can see that nice strip. And so we're not real worried about it between the rows. It would be nice for it to be there, but, it is what it is. You can even see some of the rye seeds sitting there. It just never germinated, I guess. Some of you guys were asking where Frank is. Well, Frank actually got a different job over the winter. Last time he did not, or last winter he did not. So whenever we needed something, he was always right there. But now, like I said, he has another job, and I just talked to him not long ago. He said he's doing great, so if he really likes the job, who knows if he'll even be back this summer, but he said he loves the farm, we'll see what happens. So to finish off the day, Stacy and I are feeding the cows. Right, Daisy? Figured I'll show you here quick before I head home what the lower high tunnel here looks like.
Now this one really didn't grow between the rows. And this is the driest part of the whole greenhouse. So that makes sense why there's nothing there. But for the most part, each row is coming up really good. With that being said, that's where I'm gonna call it a wrap for this video. As always, thank you guys for watching, and always remember, it ain't much, but it's honest work.